So today we're going to take a look at FPX versus Acend on Breeze because we had one of the better Yoru performances that I think we perhaps have ever seen. To be honest, particularly on the attacking side, at the very least, from FPX. So we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to start with round number 3. And one thing I just want to bring up quickly about round number 3 is the way the FPX were managing their economy. As you can see, it's 2-0, so they won the pistol, they won the second round, but in that second round, they would only buy 2 guns. And the reason is that then they wanted to buy 3 rifles coming into this third round. So you can see that their buy is really good for a third round. But then if you look at the level of their economy, it's actually good enough to the point where they could then afford again for that fourth round, even if they lose, which is really quite interesting. So they have a very good chance of winning the third round, and then, you know, the same amount of chance really as winning that fourth round because they only went for 2 guns on that second round. Quite an interesting idea, but let's take a look at how this round went for them. They actually are going to lose round 3, but I think it gives us just a quick warm-up in terms of what the Yoru was doing. So we got the early Prowler coming in there to clear out this neon, and goes the common Viper wall there, and in comes our Yoru thing. So we're going to get KO knife down here, we're going to get Prowler coming to this right hand side. Here's our Yoru TP, here's our fake Yoru that you might see there as well. So very, very interesting, and actually most of the TPs from the Yoru on this B site, 2 very good spots, I think, for it. In this corner and just behind this box here as well. 2 very sort of good corners to attack. The FPX kind of, you know, realize that you can kind of go to either one. You can, you know, do different things, you know, to try and clear out space. It's quite interesting with this KO knife that came in here, because obviously the reaction of this Viper is always going to be to come away from the KO knife. But then if the Viper can manage to avoid that KO knife, which they did in this instance, often what people will do is you avoid it and then you go back to where the KO knife was, because, you know, you think, they don't know that I'm here because the KO knife didn't hit me, so I'm going to come into this angle again. So actually it kind of works out in their favor this time that the Viper is pretty much always going to do that if that is the case, because Angel is about to TP in there. And so we'll see that is exactly what happens. He TPs in and he's able to get the kill on Monster right there. And they get the first kill, and the Yoru gets the opening. Now, unfortunately, Stoxo is right here, and he knows that Angel is here as well, and Angel got hit pretty hard, down to 5 HP, so unfortunately does lose his life to that spam there, and we end up in a 4v4. And this is, well, it's unfortunate, because really it's going to come down to Artist, this 4v4, because you'll see that Saigetsu still has 2 snake bites, and he has his orb on the spike. So if Saigetsu just, you know, can live to like the last person alive, they have a very good chance of winning this round. The problem that they're going to have is the Artist here, he's going to take this fight against these players here. He shoots the bird, but then dies to Vac without getting that kill. So then what's going to happen is Sugetsu's trying to trade the kill of Artist, which he does. He's able to get 1, but then gets traded himself. And so had Artist just managed to get 1, you know, they probably end up winning this round. But after that death there, we end up in this situation, a 2v3, very difficult for these players. And although they managed to get 1, Acend managed to clean it up. But we see straight away the kind of, you know, the Yoru entry potential was definitely there in this game, and this was kind of the first real example of it. And now let's come to round number 4, and this one's a really interesting round from FPX, and it starts with this very good mid default that they had. You'll see here we've got the Yoru gate crash coming in early. We're going to get a KO knife towards short that's going to catch this fade. We're going to get a fade horn up in here that actually catches the neon before she shoots it as well. So you know, we've got a lot of early pressure towards mid, very nice sort of mid early take from them, and then Angel is going to send in a flash down here as they know the neon is pretty close, and then he's going to TP after the flash. So really nice, and you'll see that they get very early mid control. You got Saigetsu walking up here with his Viper wall down the hallway there, and you're going to see that Acend pretty early get pushed back quite far as this mid take comes in from the side of FPX, and they get very deep into mid. And then eventually what's going to happen is we're going to see them come back towards this A site over here with the Yoru ult. They send a Prowler in towards B, but then the call comes in to go towards A instead. So Getsu in this nice pushed up position already, and so in we go, and we get Angel here using the Yoru ult, and he's actually going to send out the fake clone there as well. He sees Vac dropping down there off the yellow box, so they already know 1 player's there. And then what's going to happen is, now that all this chaos is going on, right, and the Yoru ult's coming in and whatnot, so Saigetsu's going to open the door, CNED is going to shoot the fake Yoru, and so then Saigetsu, knowing where he is going to find a very easy kill there on CNED. And so you see He tries to turn the flash from the fake Yoru, so Getsu gets an easy kill. In comes a Fade Haunt, KO knife. It pushes this player back, who they know it must be here now at this point after this KO knife has gone on and not see them. You know, they know that this player must be pretty much here because they've seen it from the Yoru ult. Angel's gone clearing the rest of A site as well, and so they do manage to find that kill as well onto Vac and get that kill there. So we end up in this really nice 5v3. Saigetsu's going to find that one, and then it's just going to be a save from these other players. We can run this a bit quicker because they will eventually find these players and hunt them down. Really, really nice round from FPX, and you see the value of the Yoru there, giving them that very good information. I think the Yoru might be a pretty underrated, to be honest. I think it's a really strong ult in pro play, because when you're working with very good information at the pro level, you know, that is a massive advantage to have, and FPX show it right there. And now let's come to round number 8, and what we are going to see here is a B take from the side of FPX. One thing you might want to notice is that the Yoru is pretty much always coming towards the window side here, so that they can drop down here and send in these lineups either way on B. So that's maybe one thing you want to consider when playing Yoru. But again, early Prowler out here to get elbow control. In comes our fake Yoru. In goes the Viper Wall. In goes the clone, I should say. Here's the TP. We get the Prowler coming out. The TP gets shot, as you can see there. KO knife on this left side, doesn't see anyone. The Yoru TP is in with it, knows that no one is super close to him at this point. And you'll just see it. It's just really a terrible situation. In comes this Fade Haunt here as well. The opposition Fade is going to send in their ult, but at this point Starkso has only just turned to Angel at this point, even though the TP came in quite a while ago. At this point we get a trade there as well, but you see again, like the Yoru just creating chaos, and so many things go on in a pro game like very, very quickly that you just lose track of it, right? You're not going to be able to really keep track of everything if you aren't looking at that Yoru straight away and know whether it's a fake or not. You know, you don't really have the time to kind of consider that. And so we end up in this position here. Again, we got Sugetsu with his orb on the spike with 2 snake bites ready in case they're needed. Artist TP's out and the Yoru TP's out as well. So they kind of got close to fighting, right? Like they were kind of in and around this area, sort of ready to fight. But then as soon as things got maybe a bit sticky, they both are able to TP out and play this in a much safer way. And that kind of just really stops Acend, who now, you know, are going clearing. Look, they're pinging over here. They think someone's really close. You know, they don't really know where anyone is. CNED ends up saving his op here. And we end up in this situation where it's kind of just Zeke kind of on the spike on his own. Sugetsu's actually going to manage to find CNED as well. That's one thing. Sugetsu was on an absolute tear in this game. He just couldn't miss a shot. Zeke does manage to find one there, but the time is too low. And another round win for FPX. Really nice round there. Now let's come to round number 10, and we'll see in this one, this time it's going to be an A hit, as you can see. So let's take a look at what happens. We're going to get the chamber and the KO going up towards the hallway here. We're going to send in this early Prowler towards A. We're going to send in the Yoru gate crash that's going to come in around here. We're going to send in the fake Yoru as well down there as well. So let's take a look at how it goes. So early Prowler clears it out. In comes the Yoru gate crash in there. You can see here comes the fake Yoru as well. And this is the thing, Acend shot a lot of these fake Yorus, and they're going to shoot this one as well, despite being pretty obvious that it is a fake. We also got a KO knife down here towards Hall to clear that out so that they know that they can open the door. But they shot this one. As you can see, it turns towards the Viper here. But I can't blame Acend for shooting a lot of these Yoru clones, because this game didn't mean anything. This was a seeding game. Both teams were already in the playoffs. Neither of them can finish in first place. So this game literally did not mean anything to either side. And so I don't blame them for shooting a lot of these, because I can imagine that, you know, if in any game Angel was going to do the thing where, you know, he pretends to be the clone and just, you know, walks up and pretends to be it and then turns around and kills 2 of them. They didn't want to end up, you know, on Twitter and TikTok everywhere, so I can understand why they kept shooting them. But they do shoot it, and then he decides to TP in after that, after they shoot it, right? Because they're not going to be looking in this direction, because they're going to probably be trying to turn the flash. Also, you know, the direction that shot has just come from. We also get an early Prowler in here that's going to hit the sky as well. So now I want you to consider you are the Viper in this situation. You can see that the Viper knows that this Yoru TP has come in. The sky is probably going to be calling for help because of this Prowler, you know, just hitting the sky. And the door is about to be opened here as well. So what on earth do you do if you're the Viper? Your sky wants help from A main. you know that the Yoru's there and the door's now opening. What on earth do you look at? Where do you go, right? And this is a big problem that they really had. And if we run this forward, this guy's going to try and flash out to save them. And you see that both players turn towards the Yoru. They try and focus on that first, but now the door is opening, and so they are just going to get destroyed basically from Artis here on the chamber from the door, and they get the first 2 kills just like that. Really, really nice on the whole. And now actually we're going to send in the Yoru ult as well, just to give them that extra information. You see CNED is right there. He has a pretty cool idea. Sugetsu gets one towards the back of Hall, Starks are there as well. He comes out of the TP and then TPs away just to create that massive confusion for CNED. Xiao hits a really nice shot there, as he is one to do. And you see CNED now, like, you know, this Yoru ult came out, you know, pretty close. I wonder where they are. And so they just create that a bit of problem for CNED there as well, although the round was pretty much already won by that point. And eventually Saigetsu is going to come around the back and get this last kill as well. And again, a really, really nice round from FPX. And now let's come to round number 11. And this one's going to be another B hit, but we see the potential really of Fade and Yoru. And I know that you all are aware of the Fade and Yoru potential, but this round kind of shows it pretty well. Again, early Prowler in here, Chamber Trap there. Again, the Yoru coming towards this window side to send out the gate crash. And in we go. So in goes the gate crash there. In comes the Viper Wall again. We're going to get, you know, KO flashes and whatnot, but we're going to get the Fade ult. Pretty importantly, the Fade ult's going to come around like this, and actually it's going to catch both the Fade and the Neon on the site there, and then we have the fake Yoru running in as well, and so then the Yoru decides to TP in, and so at this point, you know, you're just in a lot of trouble. In comes a Prowler towards Starkso as well, but actually he's going to die to Angel this time, just coming from behind. And then he's going to turn around and manage to get Xiao as well, you know, just completely catching him unawares. Zeke does manage to find one back towards mid, but we end up in this 4v3. We get the Viper's Pit down as well. Just a really nice take, right? You know, with the Fade ult into the Yoru TP. Very, very strong little combination if it works. And in this instance it did, and those players on that B side just got absolutely destroyed by it. And then we're actually going to see some more Yoru magic as Sugetsu and Monster kind of, you know, cross paths there, but Xiao decides that no, you're not going to win this round. And then this is pretty funny because Angel has put his second gate crash just behind CNED, as you can see there, so he turns around at the wrong moment, and Zipan manages to get that final kill as well. But now let's come to the defensive side, and it didn't go quite as well on the defensive side, but we're just going to show a quick clip here from round number 17, and you can see it's actually a low buy on the side of FPX. But I think low buy defensive rounds is where Yoru can potentially, you know, create some chaos and really shine, because on these rounds, obviously, you're not expecting to win them. So adding in a bit of chaos, you know, creating some chaos is a good thing if you don't think you are the favorite in a round. So you can see we've got the gate crash down there. And what's going to happen is Acend are going to send in the Viper Wall. They're going to send in the Skydog. They're going to send in the Prowler, right? It becomes pretty obvious that, yeah, they're coming towards B. And so what Angel does is he sends in the flash there and then goes for the gate crash. You can see we've got the Neon Wall. We got a KO nade, I think, in the entranceway as well from the side of FPX. But he catches them completely unawares, right? He gets CNED for free. He gets a second kill. They aren't actually going to go on and win this round. They will lose this round. It takes a while, but they do manage to lose this round. But anyway, what I really want to say about this is on eco rounds in particular, you can create a lot of chaos with this Yoru, right? Like, obviously we saw Angel come in here, but really, I mean, anywhere back here, you know, the Yoru could TP and come behind you and just create a lot of potential problems, right? Like if he finds someone catching them unawares, you know, picks up a gun, like that can really change one of these eco rounds. And I think that the Yoru on these eco defensive rounds has a lot of potential. But now finally, let's come to round 22. And this one, something pretty funny happens in this one, because you have to keep your eye on this Yoru gate crashes. We got some early pressure coming out from Acend. They send in this Fade on here that sees the chamber, so he has to TP away. The Neon gets deep in mid nice and early, but we get this KO knife in here that sees 2 in mid, so you know they're kind of aware that it could be in mid. And we just keep your eye on this gate crash and this Sky, because this gate crash Angel fakes it, right? And Zeke here on the Sky gets very worried about this. Just keep your eye on how long it takes for this guy to like clear everything that, you know, where this Yoru might be, right? Like looking around, like really worried about what's going on. Like the rest of the round is just playing out at this point, but you know, super worried about where this Yoru could be, and takes like a good while for this guy to kind of rejoin the action after clearing pretty much everything of where this Yoru could have been from just one fake, right? And then we get the first kill here from the chamber onto the other chamber, onto CNED. But we still have Stoxo pushed up in this very aggressive position here, but Angel is about to go check on it. He just sent out his gate crash, you might have seen there, and unfortunately Stoxo is going to be revealed before he can get a kill. So they do know that he is pushed up at this point, and then Angel decides to send out his fake Yoru as well, that I think just holds this fade in place, but out comes a push from the other side of mid, as we can see from Zipan and Xiao here. They come through the double doors, manage to find one. They do manage to kill Zipan, but Xiao is about to get another before being traded himself, and so we end up in this 2v3, and then this is pretty tragic. I think Vac was clearly looking at the map or whatever, because Saigetsu just comes out of the smoke and gets a kill there. Spike goes down, and at this point Zeke is in a pretty rough situation with only 20 or so seconds left, and so it ends in a pretty tragic way. Because we get the Viper ult, and Saigetsu would put down a Viper molly just there. Zeke runs straight into it, and FPX win the round and win the map as well, with a very good Yoru performance from Angel, and very interesting Yoru performance. Now, Yoru is an agent, I think, that, you know, is good for one-off games, but, you know, once people kind of study what you're exactly doing, then maybe it can be, you know, a bit more predictable. But I think Breeze in particular, like, maybe someone made a video about, you know, Yoru might be good on Breeze. Someone might have made that video. I can't quite remember who. But yeah. On Breeze, I think there's a lot of potential for Yoru, to be honest, because I think there's a lot of different positions that you can TP to and from, and I think we saw some of them from FPX, but I think there is honestly a lot more from Yoru to give, and so I'd be very interested in seeing it.